Okay, so this exercise is the speed, measuring the speed of how quickly you can capture someone's balance by opening up the mental space. So normally when we touch the base, you get a sense of the physical space, and then you open and then you pull the balance slightly out of that space by going through the gap between the balance and the mass. So we engage, we open, and we find that gap. And there's a speed at which you do that. What we want to do is touch and go straight into that gap and open up the mental space as quickly as possible. So you want to reset every time, go back to physical, and then open through that gap. And the speed that you can get between the balance and the mass and relax through the matrices is through that gap you open the balance and the space up. So it's basically I'm in the space of his body, and then I'm going to this larger space or the space behind him really quickly. And then I can drop the hip, stretch the spine, put some gin into that if I want. And it's kind of measurable how quickly you can get into someone. Now, people have a natural auto response of closing all the doors once you're in, that they'll reground themselves and try and get you out of their center of balance and disconnect you. If you can do this quick enough, they're not able to do that. That people have an unconscious adaptation to someone invading their space. And they have a speed at which they can effectively prevent you from entering. So you always want to be a little bit quicker. And if you get it to a speed of a boxer's jab, like a shock when you go in, and then once you have that speed, and you go, okay, I'll increase volume behind it. The moment you start increasing volume, speed usually drops. So to get high volume at high level of acceleration makes a very high amount of power. You're normally fast and light, or you're heavy, strong, and a little bit slower, but it's hard to put the two together. So because everyone we're training with is very sensitive and open already, you'll be able to get the speed right up. Now it's a matter of finding that speed of that electric shock to enter, and then increasing volume of power through that speed, and introducing more and more power into it. And that's with a sort of the force times acceleration is the mass times acceleration generates the force. That's a multiplier. Mass, you take the amount of mass and you multiply it by the acceleration, you dramatically increase force. And the speed is easy, but to amplify the force isn't. By increasing mass. So this energetic volume that you're putting in with that speed, that's the key to getting really good at this martially. And very few people get there because they're not really aware of that equation that really put it in. Increase volume, increase speed, and you increase your output of power. Okay, so play with those metrics. Get to speed first, so it's up to electric, and then start putting more power behind that speed. Right, have a play.